Hey, hello,
Oh,
everyone.
oh,
We're
hello,
live. Hello,
everyone, me.
you. It's just, I mean, yeah, it's not really everyone at this point. It's just you and I.
Just us, just
Just like
two outside New York City boys.
sure, sure, sure. You a little further outside
Well,
than
sure,
on the
the
north. Well, yeah,
distance doesn't matter. The fact is, we're out of New York City, so we
it's
can
true.
we can
It's
talk about
true.
things that are outside of New York City, like
Shitty pizza.
oh, the worst pizza. Jeez,
I know it's
not
it's almost like a stereotype at this point. It's like, oh, why New Yorkers love their pizza so much. I've
okay.
had
All
pizza
right.
outside of New York City. Not good.
Have you ever been to Chicago?
I have not. There's soup pizza.
There, it's not pizza. It's lasagna, and you can't tell me different.
Garfield's
I went to
favorite pizza.
Chicago. Went to Chicago for the and hung out sort of for the first time in I guess it was 2019.
Okay.
Oh, gotta get some Chicago pizza. Gotta just see what the big deal is. It's garbage, is what it is.
I feel like it's messy.
Yeah,
Like
because
you
it's
gotta
not
eat it with a
pizza.
fork and knife. Is that a thing? Can you eat it with your hands? Is it a hand food? Guys, don't worry. We're
I
gonna talk about comics in a bit. It's a little warm up here.
it's a I for me it's a knife and fork because it
You're
comes in
like
like a like a deep dish pan.
you're like a George Costanza with a Snickers.
Even worse.
That's true. At least George Costanza's bearable. Actually, no, that is an unbearable human being. but
Yeah.
hi guys. Hi. Welcome to the Comics Pals. We're a little short staffed, much like your local fast food joint.
Bless
But
those people.
you want to get into that, Cal? You want to get into wage discussion in America
Yeah.
across the
Well,
world?
I
Let's
can't speak for America,
sure.
but in Britain there are big ol' strikes happening right now. The country is
Ooh,
just on the verge of a huge general strike because everybody's pissed off about wages.
awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Hello everyone in the chat. We got the medic, Cannon Shout. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for discovering us on the general just chatting or podcast page. I don't know how you found us, but you found us on Twitch. So nice seeing you.
And that's what's
Beck,
important.
hello, hello. Kefis, I had a Chicago pizza with double cheese that had so much cheese that it filled the empty spot when I took one slice out. Oh, ew! Oh, so like it morphed
Huh.
like some kind of Cronenbergian body horror blob of flesh, just filling up the
Phil,
like the empty.
the cheese was pus.
It's like a Pizza the Hut sort of thing going on there.
Effis, thank you.
Oh
I
yeah.
did a dirty old. I complimented my beard. I did a dirty neck shave this week because I actually had to go back to work, and didn't mess with my face. So
You do a straight razor? Is that what you do? I feel you look like a straight razor kind of guy.
I wish I don't have the patience. I hate
Live life
shaving.
dangerously, you know.
I hate shaving, man. It's the worst. I can't. If I were a woman, I would be the hairiest woman.
Ah, nice, nice. But yeah, we're Sean is on Walkabout and Marco is on in Long
Fuck
Island or
about.
some shit. Marco's on Fuckabout, yeah.
If he's in Long Island, that's
He
definitely
might
what he's
be.
doing.
He might be on Fuckabout. That's true. That's true. I know those Long Island types. Either, doing that or Trump rallies. All right. Let's let's get into the show. So before we get started, I wanted just to say, where you can find us. The little plugs here. You can find us at the Comics Pals on Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Sometimes, if I'm depends how my depression's doing. And then, oh, cool. Oh, Bex, thanks for the gifted sub and Cannon Shout. You now got a sub. So awesome. Thank you. Hello, Mashing Pumpskins.
Hell yeah.
I love reading these names on here sometimes. Yeah, so one other place you can find us.
Sylv's here.
Hello. Hello. One other place you can find us is Patreon. At patreon.com/the Comics Pals. Where we're doing newsletters there weekly. You get a newsletter from each one of us every week. A different one of us each week. I believe, Kale, you're coming up where you're going to be doing something. I don't want to.
That's
Do you
that's
want
right.
to
No,
teaser it?
I'll say what I'm doing.
Oh, that'll
Because
sell
this will
it. Yeah.
be all about the reaction this week. I am trying. I'm doing an extension of the Food Pals. I'm gonna try wasabi ice cream.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
There's nothing about that that sounds like I would survive that.
I'm excited.
Is it the real wasabi or like that fake wasabi that's like green
Listen,
horseradish?
I don't know.
You
It could
might
very
be
well
having
just be. It could just be garbage because like I got it at Lidl or Aldi or whatever. But I saw it and I said that's gonna be awful. And I said, you know what? I have to try it.
Last time I went
That's
a
the
little
rule.
adventurous with my ice cream. I went with a green tea matcha ice cream. That like you'd think that would be good. It was like the
See-
Haagen-Dazs one too, and it was just disappointing.
Matcha just doesn't have flavor. Maybe
Oh,
I don't
dude,
get it.
no. A good matcha is bee's knees. But yeah, for at the $3 tier, you can see that. You can see how many pages did Marco write last week? 36 pages
36,
about romance
yeah.
comics.
But not romance comics, romance manga.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, which is more romance manga than I've ever partaken in, just through Marco's musings. Oh, Marco's musings sounds good. Sounds better than his muck hole.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He's not
for
gonna
$3.
change it, though.
No. I made that graphic for him.
Yeah.
I'm not making another one for him. He doesn't get to. But yeah, if you also subscribe at the next tier up, $7 tier, right? $7, I believe, yeah. You can get a Patreon superhero / supervillain name. And then we get to read them on the show. So thank you to, this is Sean's bit, so I'll do this a little slower. Thank you to Thunderstruck Rebecca Alejandro, the Night Stalker Harris Nijinsky, Brian Demolisher Del Pozo, Julissa the Jaguar, and Random Rocio, the Courageous Kunaladas, Kevis the Incorruptible, the Great Destroyer Hyper Viper 89, Momentum Mike Elliott, Starcross Catherine Stars, Indestructible Indy Aaron, and the next one could be you. If you join our Patreon. You know what I will say? Next one, I will come up with it. So that either will draw people to it or make people never want to actually get that tier again. So.
Will you do the whole backstory and everything too, the way Sean did?
Yeah. I'll do a 36-page backstory.
Yeah. That's reasonable.
Yeah, a totally reasonable bar that Marco set for us going forward.
Yeah. What do you see your role as in this Patreon verse? Assigning.
What slot do I play?
Yeah, are you like the radioactive spider, or do you feel like you're more the watcher?
Ooh, not the watcher, because that's pervy in my opinion. I only watch when it gets good. Like that's what that dude's like.
And I'm not allowed to get involved.
Yeah, I don't want to though. That's not where my fun is. Uatu has always been creepy, and then like he just he brought Nick Fury over to some kind of weird sex club, and like Nick Fury's like, yo, I get this. I want to be the unseen. And guys, that's the story to what was it? Original Sin. There you go.
Original Sin.
You don't need to read it anymore. It's about voyeurism in comics.
The original sin is voyeurism.
Jackarai is asking, Herogasm? I haven't read or watched the Herogasm episode of The Boys yet, so.
I haven't watched The Boys.
Oh, Kale.
Is it good? Is it worth it?
It is hilarious, violent, and very, very well done. Carl Urban, you a big Carl Urban guy?
I do love Carl Urban.
He's in it.
That's the draw for me. I like Carl Urban a lot.
Carl Urban's in it, and Jack Quaid's son is in it.
Isn't Jack Quaid the son? Dennis Quaid's son.
Oh, Dennis Quaid's son, Jack Quaid, is in it. Yes,
right.
yes. Who I think is great.
Yeah.
I really recommend that. It's good stuff. Not that you need another thing on your plate. But yeah, join our Patreon. But even if you don't join the Patreon, you can ask us questions in a myriad of different places. You can ask it on the Patreon. You can ask it on the Discord, the aforementioned Discord, which is linked below. Or you can ask it on the YouTube thing. So you can send us pigeon mail. Good luck getting that pigeon over the Atlantic. If you're in the U.S., sending it to Kale. Probably easier to send it to the New York area. There's a lot of pigeons around there.
if you want to send me mail, just DM me. I'll give you my address.
Yeah. Or send it to Buckingham Palace with Kel's name addressed on it.
I do genuinely. I have a friend whose father checks the mail at Buckingham Palace.
Oh, really?
I shit you not. This September, I'm going to a wedding in Buckingham Palace.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What do you have to wear? Do you have to wear one of them frilly shirts like Jerry Seinfeld, second Seinfeld reference?
I'm gonna have to like go suit shopping.
Oh, that is. You got to wear pantaloons, I believe. I believe that's necessary. You have to like powder your face.
I look.
You have to have horrible teeth, like wooden teeth at that point, because dental hygiene wasn't a thing back then.
Great teeth.
So yeah, you're almost there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep at it. Keep eating wasabi ice cream. That'll do it.
Yeah. I'll quit brushing for the week ahead, and it'll be all right.
Yeah, prep for a friend's wedding by not brushing your teeth for months on end. Great way to show love to the newlyweds.
Love these people and support them.
Gonna be like SpongeBob when he eats that rancid Krabby Patty or whatever.
Yep.
He's clearing out Buckingham Palace. You might. I was gonna say kill the Queen with that, but I don't want the British Secret Service. I don't know what they're called.
MI6.
MI6. Oh, that's
that's
like
the CIA,
a Marvel thing.
I guess is.
No, it's MI13. Guys, we have questions.
Oh yeah.
Kel, do you want to
questions and comments?
And comments. Mostly comments with one question. Yeah.
All right. So on our Garth Ennis interview, you can find on YouTube or anywhere you get your podcast, JB gave us a comment. He said, this was a really wonderful interview. Great questions and interesting to hear his perspective on these topics. Thanks.
I gotta say, I'm gonna take full credit for that episode.
Yeah. I mean, you're the one that hooked it up.
Was I? I wasn't even around on the show at this point. I'm like, I was like, I don't remember doing that.
So I think I've told this story on the pod before, but I'll tell it again just because it's funny to me. This was just after The Boys came out or ended, and he put out war books, and that's like his big thing. He loves writing war books, World War II books, and that's what he wanted to talk about. And the person that was in charge, his handler or whatever, was like, he only ask him questions about that. So Sean he like dipped his toe in, and I'm sitting there. We're about to lose Garth Ennis. We're gonna lose Garth Ennis.
Oh, he dipped his toe into the boys, like outside of the war talk?
Yeah. He just said the question was just to the effect of, you got to be excited about all the hype the boys is getting. And I could see him kind of, oh yeah, it's great, and that was it. And then we got into the actual interview, and it was, okay, all right. But he was not here for answering questions about anything other than these books.
Dude loves him some more.
Yeah.
Surprised he's not American. Let's get to the next one. Kel.
Ricardo Risu.
I faked that one. I'm trying to get the Puerto Rican out of me, but
I apologize if that was an awful mispronunciation of your name. I will pay for it. He says on episode 295, the last episode,
yep,
that webtoon ad is why comic creators get paid so little, even if they write or draw wonderful stories that connect to people on deep levels.
Yeah, I think that's a point that I don't think we talked about, is the idea of stuff like this making comics low art means they don't get paid the same. Just perpetuates that. And now somebody who, I don't know, creates this giant IP for a big company that then becomes a multimedia IP, never got paid that much. So
yeah, And that's the story of comics.
Yep. Unfortunately, maybe one day it can change, but let's read this question on the Discord regarding your birthday. Actually, right?
That's correct. I got the greatest birthday gift this year from Tetsuki Fujimoto. Gonna release a new one-shot manga, and then we're gonna start the second part of Chainsaw Man a week later. Oh, come on. So this question is from Matt Murphy. Good old Murphy. He says, with Fujimoto dropping a new one-shot on the 4th and Chapter 1 of Chainsaw Man Part 2 on the 14th, will the Comics Pals do back-to-back manga reviews for the first time? I gotta say, I doubt it.
That's what Sean said when he replied to him.
Yeah.
I made a reply.
I would love
though,
that, but
yeah, I made a reply on the Discord, and maybe this can plug the Patreon a bit too, where for the Patreon we do book clubs. Our Thor God of Thunder Volumes 1 and 2 book club comes out in 2 weeks, first week of July, and probably the day after this aforementioned the 4th of July, and part of the Patreon is that you get to vote on the book that we talk about. We'll give you usually 4 or 5 options. You can pick it. And let's just say there might be options on there that you have to read backwards. You know? I might throw a Berserk on there because people keep telling me I have to fucking read that book. So why not
tell me about it.
Just throw. Have you read that, or
I haven't read it, but people keep telling me to.
maybe throw some Chainsaw Man on there and see if So if you guys really want that, maybe go on the old Patreon and force us to. Yeah, force us to.
Force the other guys. I'll do it happily. You can tell me to do it for free, and I'll do it.
I'll read anything happily. I'm gonna be reading fucking Asterix, even though it wasn't my week. This coming Pals Pulls, because it's a thing I want to do, and I have way too much free time now. So, oof.
I thought about giving you something meaty.
Meaty.
Yeah. But the world is too hard right now.
Oh, okay. So I'll give you Cross next time. Good. Sounds good.
No, the one I was thinking about is there's a graphic novelist named Joe Sacco who does sort of journalist reports, but he does them in graphic novel form.
Okay.
And they're tremendous pieces of art, great comics. But God, they're depressing.
Yeah, I think I'm cool on that for now.
Yeah. Like his famous one is about Palestine. It's like
yeah, real light stuff.
Yeah.
When you say meaty, you mean some heavy meat.
Yeah.
The big old schmeat. You wanted to give me that schmeat. Mm-hmm. Harris in the chat. Hello, how you doing?
Talk about schmeat.
All right. Let's get into the show. So, once again, 4th week in a row, is it?
I think so.
That we are going to be on Ezra Watch.
Ugh, worse.
But this time, Ezra's really kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Getting this old timey villain vibe going on. I
criminal.
I threw old Snidely Whiplash on the stream there.
Oh yeah,
because that's the kind of vibe I'm getting from them. So Rolling Stone. So this time it's not even like just little news outlets coming on. This is like a full on article by Rolling Stone, talking about. So the title of this article was "Guns, Bullets, and Weed." Ezra Miller housing 3 young children and their mother at Vermont farm. So we're in another state, by the way. We were in Hawaii. We were in one of the Carolinas. We've been all over the place with Ezra.
Yeah.
There's like a new story in each state. It's great, which we'll talk about in a bit. But yeah, so this story kind of tells a story about Ezra Miller has been hosting this 25-year-old mother and her 3 young children at their Vermont farm. And I guess it's the way it's been described. And again, this is another one of those like Ezra Miller there might be more sides to one story. We don't know, but we can only get what this mother is talking about. So the mother described it as her being in it looks like an abusive relationship and has her kids, and Ezra is housing them, I guess, like saving them for in their farm, and has a whole bunch of guns there. And the guns I've seen like pictures of or whatever are like those old timey muskets and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's actually true. It's not in the Rolling Stone article. But God, Ezra is just all over the country just doing strange things. Like, on paper, this is one of those things that sounds like, okay, maybe this could be well-intentioned. You know? Similar to that other story where it was like, he was like with some like girl that he was talking, or they were talking to for months when the girl was underage, and like the girl's like, no, I'm fine, this is totally my decision. It's got a little bit of vibe of that too. It's like
Yeah. Wasn't there a part of the article that was like there are photos of the baby with bullets in his teeth?
Yeah, there was a picture of a baby just sucking on an old bullet, loose ammo around. I mean, so there were guns in my household growing up, and I remember there being empty shells in my crayon box. So like it happens. They might have been loaded. I don't know. I don't know. I knew where the gun was, but
I don't have a way to respond to that. I did not
taste
grow
like
up with
pennies.
guns.
I will say that. I will say taste like pennies.
Not great.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything clever to say about this. It's just like this.
It's just
This NB's a criminal, man. Like, get him out of here.
yeah, it's wild. Like we've heard stories last week where Warner Brothers Discovery is like, all right, let's just keep this under the radar. Hope it doesn't get worse. Hope we can just, I don't know, let it run its course and just release Flashpoint and get it over with Ezra. And then fucking a Rolling Stone article drops. Like, that's a major publication.
Yep.
Especially for entertainment. And to have your headlining star of your tentpole film be the main character in this piece, where a 1-year-old might have access to firearms.
Yeah.
Real
Yeah.
good. Especially nowadays.
Two sources this is from the Rolling Stone article. Two sources with knowledge of the situation expressed concern to Rolling Stone that it's an unsafe environment for children, alleging that there are unattended guns strewn about the home on Miller's 96-acre property. One source, who, like the other, requested anonymity for fear of retribution, recalled an instance where one of the children, a 1-year-old, allegedly picked up a loose bullet and put it in her mouth.
Jeez. Hey, well, in that vein, I have a game for you, Cal.
Oh, boy.
So the idea of Ezra committing these, maybe not legal crimes, but acts of questionable nature across the country, apparently. I thought we play a little game, and this is going to go full screen, so you won't see us for a bit. A game of... I gotta fix one thing, guys, and then I can do that. I forgot to add something to my...
Harris wants to know how much credence we place on the rumor that Flash will debut on HBO Max as opposed to theaters due to Ezra.
I don't think they can release that on HBO Max. I think that's too big of
Yeah.
a thing. That's too important for them, and it would... Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe they get rid of Ezra and recut it in a way to just do the Supergirl and Batman stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that can be an HBO Max thing. But we should
Yeah.
be good for sound now. So let's play a game of
Y'all can hear us on the
where in the
chat.
world is Ezra Miller? Yeah, they should be able to hear us now. I can see the lines moving.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to give Kale the little hints on a place where Ezra has traveled the multiverse and committed acts of questionable intent throughout. So this is across, Marvel, DC, wherever. And he's got to tell me where you think Ezra is now. So the first one, Ezra is in a place. So this is a small Eastern European country. And its largest city is called Doomstat. Where could Ezra Miller be committing crimes here?
Is he slapping around Doom bots in Latveria?
You know what? A Doombot was singing horrible, horrible Bon Jovi songs in Latveria. So Ezra Miller had to go and just slap them things about.
It is
yes.
Latveria, right? It's not Latvia. Yeah, it's
Latvia
gotta
is
be
the actual country.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought.
Latveria doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. So Ezra ran somewhere else now. Now Ezra is in a city that was originally located on the planet Kalor, but was brought to Earth by Green Lantern Hal Jordan. And without his knowledge, the animals nearby needed a safer environment to live in and attach their selves to the Green Lantern's energy trail, giving them a little more super intelligence. Where could this be?
That might be too. But is it Gorilla City?
It is Gorilla City. I did not
Wow.
realize the Green Lantern backstory to Gorilla City.
Yeah. I had to. I got to give credit where it's due. I saw that from Harris in the chat because I had no idea. But then as soon as he said it, I saw the phallus shape there in the photo.
Oh, the old
says the gorilla.
silverback dome there.
That's right.
Yesiah, hello. So yeah, you're
Welcome.
two for 3 right now. Let's see if you can finish out strong. So Ezra has broken through the multiversal barrier again, and is now in another place. So this place was founded in 1941 by General Augustus Pickens and bankrolled by Barnabas B. Blossom. The town is divided into 2 parts: the north side, where the rich live, and the south side, where the poor live. Where could Ezra Miller?
Riverdale.
Yes, it is Riverdale. So if you are a teenager, watch out.
He's coming for you, Betty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Probably.
I by that picture, I thought it was the Richard Scarry world.
It looks like that, or it looks like the those like rugs, those little rugs you would get as a kid.
Yeah. That
To
that have
display
the
with your cars
town.
on.
Yeah.
No joke. When I moved out and I'm living by myself now, I was tempted to buy one of those for my bedroom, but I realized
They're so cool.
they're cool, but like it might be a little as the youth say, a little sussy.
Yeah.
Grown man with a kid's rug, and so, a little weird. But that was Where in the World is Ezra Miller. Fun little game for the both of us.
That was all right.
It was more for me to Photoshop. I had a little fun with the Photoshop this morning. I got to use the motion blur. Haven't used that in a while, so.
Yeah.
I was gonna get like really weird locations for you, like Kondak, make it a little hard, but I didn't want to.
Listen, you got me with the Gorilla City one. I genuinely didn't have that one.
Harris, my man in the chat, coming through. Yasia says Ezra Miller is in Buffalo Bill's basement. That's one word we don't say, and it's not Bill's basement. All right, so more news. So for the upteenth time, Marvel has hyped up the return of Miracle Man. And this time it looks like we're actually getting something. As opposed to just reprints and discussion about Miracle Man as a character and its importance. Neil Gaiman and Mark Buckingham are going to be doing the Miracle Man Silver Age with a new issue #1 starting in, I believe in November. Hold on, my cat is like right on my mouse. All right, dude, come on. As he expanded the entire screen. So yeah, Miracle Man The Silver Age #1 is a continuation of Neil Gaiman and Mark Buckingham's story, and just in time for the character's 40th anniversary. They have also announced that there will be another Miracle Man Zero. It's a giant-sized Zero issue that celebrates the 40th anniversary of the character and brings together Gaiman and Buckingham, but also Jason Aaron, Mike Carey, Ty Templeton, Ryan Stegman, and more. I would say I was there for the Cup of Joe panel when this was announced that Marvel got the rights to Miracle Man.
Yeah.
And this is like, what, 2011?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
And since then, they've put out maybe reprints. I don't even think all of them of the original Miracle Man stuff.
No.
And it's just been stagnant since, with them always mentioning it, here and there. Cannon Shout. Holy hell, I forgot that Miracle Man is a character in Marvel. Yeah, is he though? Like, we don't even know where he lies.
He's kind of like Darth Vader at this point. He's like, yeah, Marvel owns him, but he's not really a character in Marvel.
Side note, I'm very proud of Marvel for not doing that, because it's so easy.
And somebody talks about it. There's like a suit that walks around going, why can't we just we own these people. Yeah. Why can't we get the Star Wars with the Avengers?
I want Iron Man versus Darth Vader. That's what Fortnite is for.
I knew they would do it with Conan. You're absolutely right that they haven't done it with Darth Vader, and it's nuts.
Yeah. So for Miracle Man, do you have any familiarity with this?
Yeah, I read a bunch of Miracle Man while I was in comic book school, and it's good. It's like a grown up Shazam, a grown up Captain Marvel.
Okay.
And it is genuinely good. I don't think he's an Alan Moore creation, but much like Alan Moore's everything, he's a very his run is very to the point and character defining. The sidekick, Miracle Man Jr. or whatever, Miracle Mite maybe, goes rogue and becomes like the Nega Miracle Man or something, and
which is funny because Jeff Lemire's recent Century miniseries, it was Jeff Lemire and Kim Jacinto, I believe, does that story with the Century and his sidekick. So it's good. It's all really good. It's very brutal, very graphic. In the way that you wouldn't expect like a character like Captain Marvel to be. Sure.
But I think that's like the strength of it.
It to me, it always felt like Alan Moore's other post superhero story. Like Watchmen's the one that everyone talks about.
Yeah, right.
This is his other take on it.
Maybe, yeah.
Again, I haven't read it. That's how I've got it.
Especially for that time, I think. Because I don't think he created like Tom Strong or whatever. That's his, right?
You believe so, but I think DC owns the rights to it, like every other thing. But
great. Well, anyway, it's. I think his stuff is probably a very huge commentary on the Captain Marvel, Shazam type of character. I would be excited to read new stuff.
Sure.
I don't know what place there is for Miracle Man in 2022,
So it came out last December, I believe. It was Timeless #1 by Marvel. It was that Kang book where there's all this seeding of other books throughout the year, like the Marvel Point Ones or, the Marvel Now issues. And Kang's traveling the multiverse and time stream, and it sets up like Venom. It sets up what's going on in X-Men, Avengers. At the end of it, the whole story revolves around him getting a historian to write Kang's history, and he's taking this historian throughout time and stuff. But at the end of it, the historian draws the Miracle Man logo, and that's how the book ends. And it felt very much like, oh, this is just Marvel's Doomsday Clock. Like, it felt like that. It's like, oh, them just like, oh, we got this property. Let's shove this into our main universe at this point, because it seems like Miracle Man will be part of the MCU.
And
or
MCU.
616. Sorry.
Oh,
sorry. Yeah.
well, that's still the MCU.
It's also, yeah, that's true.
I would like Miracle Man comics. I don't think I would like Miracle Man comics in Marvel continuity, especially.
You don't want to see Miracle Man tussling with Eddie Brock at all? Real thought-provoking stuff to chew on there.
Yeah, what's he gonna do? Yell Kimota and have a explosion blow up Venom like the Captain Marvel guys do every 20 seconds?
I mean, as you say that, I'm like, oh, and Ryan Stegman's in this book? Hello, maybe I'm not far off.
You're the problem.
Yeah, I am. I'm a fucking corporate shill that just likes creative endeavors to become IP and lose all of their meaning. Yep.
I say you're the problem
as you're drinking McDonald's. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm cautiously optimistic, I would say. I mean, it's Gaiman and Buckingham. It doesn't matter what it is. I will at least give that a go. You know?
Cannon Shout says, I feel like you could bring in that Silver Age Boy Scout type character of Miracle Man into the modern age and find ways to question and challenge his ways of thinking. His character arc could be similar to why we left Captain America, not for his strength and powers, but for his unshakable beliefs. I do think that makes sense, Cannon Shout. We have that with Captain America.
You don't want another white dude in your comics? I don't know. I do think Miracle Man feels like a DC type character. And like,
yeah, he's
Marvel's
a straight ripoff.
Yeah, Marvel's always tried to have their analog. You know, I mentioned Sentry or Hyperion or something like that. Maybe this is the real one that they can do. I don't know. I fucking love Sentry and Hyperion too. So like, I don't know. Maybe. Although
I don't know.
I'm not sure I care much to read a Jason Aaron Miracle Man. Like, I love Jason Aaron. That's not the guy I feel like writes in the same vein as Gaiman and Moore. You know, it's a very different type of feel.
That's the thing. You know, we've said he's a very DC character. I just don't see where he would fit in Marvel.
Sure.
You know, it's the world outside your window. And I don't know, there's something about this character that takes it a step away from that to me.
Well, we'll probably be reading it for Pals Pulse. I mean, it's a big release, so
yeah, probably.
Get back to us then. But another new book coming out. Here's a new book by R.L. Stine coming to Boom Studios. R.L. Stine's Stuff of Nightmares, which it looks like it's an anthology Goosebumps-esque horror book by R.L. Stine with art by A.L. Kaplan, with colors by Roman Titov. But the debut issue, and maybe this is me making the script and thinking this is important, but is going to have a variant by Tim Jacobus. This is the variant here, who was the artist on the original Goosebumps books.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So they're reuniting in comics, which I think is awesome.
Are they reuniting in comics, or are they reuniting for the covers of comics?
Reuniting for the covers and comics. And reuniting in the sense that there is a comic book by R.L. Stine coming out with cover art by the guy who did the original Goosebumps covers.
Yeah. That's cool. Man, that's cool as hell.
Right. And like, I was big into Goosebumps. I mean, Kevin says, will R.L. Stine overwrite the first few issues? Almost certainly.
He's got practice now. He did Man Thing.
Yeah, which I had backups by Daniel Warren Johnson, which I vaguely remember this. There was like a backup story written by, I'll have to look this up, but I'm pretty sure like that was the first time I saw Daniel Warren Johnson.
Whoa.
And I was like, oh, this is pretty good. R.L. Stine's near 80 years old now.
Pushing 80. Wow. Didn't
But I
know
just
that.
want
Sounds
I picked
surprising.
this to talk about because I want to know if in the year 2022 an R.L. Stine horror Boom Studios too, which was doing pretty good, I must
Yeah.
say, book, does that kind of interest you? Because for me, I think so. I think so.
I would definitely give it a try. Um, I think it would depend on the tone for me to enjoy it. You know, if we're looking at something like balls to the wall, like the Silver Coin,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm fucking in. But if we're talking like a more kidsy Goosebumps type book, I might go ahead and skip, just because like I read all the Goosebumps books, I watched the Goosebumps TV show, I watched all the variations of the Goosebumps TV show.
Did you see the
Now
movie
give
with
me,
Jack Black?
I didn't, and
Okay.
I've heard I should,
Yeah, me too. I've heard good things. Yeah.
but I don't. You know, I'm an adult. I like adult horror.
I mean,
Taxes,
oh
Supreme
shit.
Court votes.
Shit. Oh no. Oh no. All right. I'm gonna steer this one away. So for me, like, as I've been reading comics, like the one thing that keeps popping out to me when I read it, and it turns out I really enjoy it, is a horror anthology. Fucking Silver Coin.
Yeah.
Ice Cream Man.
Oh, what's James Tinian's
Haha is another one. Tinian did
Razor Blades?
Razor Blades. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah,
It's like the right amount of content for me. You know what I mean?
definitely. Absolutely, I do.
Because I grew up with Goosebumps. Like that's the shit. I used to devour those books. I like felt bad for my parents because I would like we'd go to the like Barnes and Noble and I'd had to pick out like 3 because I'd be done with it within like the
Yeah.
week.
Yep.
You know, I was just eating them up. But like maybe like a return to that. Like maybe lightning can strike twice for Mr. Stine here. I don't know.
That'd be
I'm
cool.
kind of excited for this. These covers are cool too. Like Tim Jacob was like iconic. Do you have a favorite Goosebumps book?
The ones that always stuck out to me are the ones. What is it? The ones with is it Slappy the dummy?
Night of the Living Dummy. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
his were always the scariest to me. But I think my favorite might be the classic, the mask one, where
Okay.
the
Yeah.
girl puts on the mask and she can't get it off.
Yep.
That
Yeah.
one, I think about that anytime Halloween comes around, and I cannot.
So the Night of the Living Dummy things was one of my favorites. I strangely liked it a lot, even though like I was horrified of dolls, still am. Like just the living doll trope is horrifying to me. My grandma once got me a ventriloquist dummy as a kid, which is not a gift you give a kid who is not shown any interest in that.
That's what I was gonna say. You strike me as the type of person who would actually be into ventriloquism. But I think
Here's the thing.
think what
I
it
might
is,
is the Muppets.
you know, it might be the Muppets.
Yeah.
I think you've told that story before, and I think that's where I went. Oh, huh, I'm surprised.
But yeah, you got to let a kid discover that. You can't just force that on them. Those
Right.
fucking dolls are scary. And I'm pretty sure my dad used to fuck with me with it, or my brother used to fuck with me, because I literally have memories. And I know the mind is a funny thing, but I have memories of that thing looking at me and moving by itself. Like, I know it's not real, but I remember that.
But it's still following me.
Yeah. So, like, the Night of Living Dummy stuff is great. I also like the deep water stuff, because there's nothing scarier to me than, like, just being in the open ocean without knowing what's underneath you. It's just horrifying to me. So, those are my two
Are you
favorites.
afraid of the dark?
Oh, great show. There was that clown episode once.
So good.
Couldn't do
Oh,
that.
God. So
Yeah, dude, like, yeah. So, like, the idea of horror anthology is something that, like, I don't think I've been cognizant is something I have enjoyed forever. Tales from the Crypt. Like, another one. It's the shit I like.
Beck points out Say Cheese and Die. Great episode of Goosebumps.
One of my favorite shows of all time is Twilight Zone, which you can argue is sort of, horror anthology. It's more of a
Horror-y.
sci-fi
Yeah.
horror.
Depends on the episode, yeah.
Yeah, the Time Enough at Last might be one of my favorite episodes of TV of all time.
Yeah.
So,
That's the one
Twilight
where
Zone
he gets all the time to read and he breaks his
Yep.
glasses.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tremendous.
it's paced so perfectly.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I'm excited for this book. Honestly, I'm gonna fucking force us to read this when it comes out. And Boom's been doing real good stuff. So
Oh, Fact or Fiction is great. Canon Shout.
I don't know that one.
That's one where you have to Will Riker. What's his name? Come on.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
He did he did the intros to the episodes, and you had to guess whether the story happened or not. I actually just watched one on Pluto TV recently with a Jonathan Frakes, thank you, where a guy, he was a total asshole, and he was like an insurance agent or something, and he got
Makes sense.
several big paydays, and he didn't trust banks. So what he did was he carved out the side of his building and kept all his money in the side of his building. But one day he like coughed up blood and got really sick and died like the next day. So turned out his office was next to like an X-ray clinic or something.
Oh,
and
man.
He carved out this side of the building, and so the radiation was leaking through. And so he was getting radiation poisoning because of his greed or whatever. And that was true. Like, that actually happened.
Have you seen the there's like a supercut of the Jonathan Frakes, like, is that true?
Oh yeah.
But it's slowed down where he sounds drunk as shit. It is
Yeah,
fantastic. It's so good. It's so good.
Sometimes,
which I think is what Riker actually sounds like, in my opinion. But
sometimes when those come on, I'll just start asking questions to my wife. Have you ever walked past an ATM and thought, what if I break that and take all the money? You ever looked at a dog and wondered, what's that bone taste like?
Do you do that while you get on a seat Riker style? Like, you lift one leg over?
Yeah. Swing it over her head and then...
Yeah, I've been trying to, now that I have to, hit the bar scene again, I've been trying to work on my Riker sit.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a power move, I feel.
I think you got to work on the beard. No offense.
Trust me, I got to work on the beard. I know that.
It's an essential element to the Riker. Look,
I think I'm going to try and channel Riker without the beard. It's a feat. It's a feat.
If you can swing the trombone, I think you can pull that off.
Oh, no, I can't do it.
Well.
Yeah, well, Anyway, you want to talk money?
No.
Too bad. Heritage Auctions just auctioned off the cover for Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. And what do you think it sold for? Rough estimate.
Do you have any details about?
I'm trying to get the exact number here.
Is it just the first cover? Is it the original?
It's the first cover. Yeah, that original piece there. Yeah. For context, I will tell you that a page of Dark Knight Returns sold for $450,000.
Trap Sword, my man, what up?
Yeah, well, I mean, this isn't it's auctioning time or anything. So just like,
I'm gonna say $2.5 million.
Yeah, it was over $2 million.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Covers always go way higher.
And this is like one of the covers.
The covers. This is the comic book cover.
This might be like the Batman cover too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like, I get it. I think it was it might have been Mitch Garrett's. Someone recently was holding this cover. They had seen it at a con or something and like took a picture with it. And like it's such a simple cover, but it fucking nails the mood of
the power. Yeah.
Fucking Snyder recreated the shot in one of the shitty Snyder movies.
Whoever wins, we lose.
Yeah, and comic book covers variants, since have all kind of, had their own spin on this. So, it's nice to see that somebody out there has that much disposable income. They can just throw $2 million on a cover. But I actually wanted to use this as an opportunity to ask you, if you had unlimited money, what comic cover would you want to buy? You could buy the original art for.
Probably. Oh boy. Oh boy. Do you
I
have
know
one?
that's. I do. Yeah. For me,
Go
it's
and
the
tell it.
day.
Yeah.
Mine's the Days of Future Past cover where they're behind and standing in front of the like the wanted signs.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
That's just like, oh, that's just like good X-Men for me.
You know what mine would be? It would be the issue of the Flash where it's like the Earth 2 introduction where both Barry Allen and
Oh
Jay Garrick
yeah.
are
Well,
running at the
is that
camera to save the
Wallywood?
guy. It could be. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
That was
I
the
think oh
yeah.
no, that's gonna be Infantino.
Oh, that would have been Infantino. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Yeah, it'd be that one. I think that would be it.
That's a good one. That was the first introduction of the multiverse.
Yep.
I think the next one would
Yep.
have been the JSA and the Justice League, that thought bubble
I
one,
think so.
right? Or the,
Yep,
the
I think
magic
so.
crystal ball thing. Yeah. Oh, that'd be a good cover.
That would be a good
Yep.
cover. Some of those old Justice League covers, like the one where it's what is it? They're turning into trees. The Starro
Yeah,
cover, man.
yeah. Oh, the Starro
cover.
Justice League one. Yeah.
Oh,
There's like I have a soft spot for like original art, especially Marvel covers that did the whole the Marvel way of writing comics, or even like interior art, where like you can tell it's just like little pieces of paper that's the lettering, and you can see it glued
yeah.
on there.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
see
yeah,
the
yeah.
whiteout. You can see the paint over it. There's such a kind of tactile feel to the original art.
It's a very time capsule.
Yeah. I think I remember seeing like some Cockrum X-Men art at a con once, and I was just like gushing over it. Or Kirby's original art, which I've seen. Marvel did like a touring. I saw it at the Philadelphia Museum of Natural History, I believe, but like a touring like Marvel universe thing, where they had like MCU costumes, but they had original art like that. They had Miller's original cover for Daredevil with where Elektra gets killed. Like seeing that in person, it's just like, oh shit.
Yeah,
And it's huge too. They're like those like fucking artist edition type style things.
yeah, yeah. I went to an Alex Ross exhibition in Paris. She's 2014. Incredible. It's just all his stuff, hung up, blown up. I got a French edition of Kingdom Come. That's that real nice hardback.
Dude, the French editions are always fucking great quality.
Oh,
It's
they're
like the French
incredible.
appreciate art or something.
Oh, it's the ninth art.
Yeah, it's so good. If only I can
Yeah.
read it, but it's just like the paper quality is great. Another
Yeah.
good like a one of the like original art pieces I would love is one of the Sandman covers, because it wasn't drawn; it was collage. It was like literal a photo taken of like a shadow box with all these different pieces in there.
Is that
to form.
Dave McKean?
Yeah, the actual art in it is that, but there's also like
Yeah.
physical objects that are then taken
Right,
and scanned.
right.
It's weird as hell, but great.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I think it's like you can hold it. I think it's all together, so you can actually hold it in like whatever shadow box it's in that was taken in.
Huh. That would
Huge,
go
too.
for a stupid price if that
I
was still
think
around.
it might have recently. I remember seeing somebody holding it recently on either like Bleeding Cool or Twitter or something.
Yeah.
Especially once the show comes out. Shit, fuck,
Yeah.
that's going on. It's a fucking Netflix show
Shit,
too.
fuck.
Shit, fuck. But
Shit,
yeah, that's
fuck.
I don't know. That's our money talk this episode.
2 million.
So that was a fun little
So-
discussion. You want to get into a downer?
I mean, listen. Yeah.
What is your opinion on independent comic book creator Dave Sims?
I don't have a high one.
That's fair. So Dave
don't-
Sim, creator of Cerebus,
Yeah.
is coming out with a new book. It's called Flailing at Love, and it's set inside the Cerebus universe. So let me see if I can get to the solicitation for it. So, very happily married, just ask Marie. David Birdsong trashes his ex-wife and pretty much everyone else's past, present, and future relationships besides his own, starring Cerebus. Cerebus's online porn addiction and free online advice as to what to do about it. Advice to a lovelorn whore. That's the ex-wife I was telling you about. That's right. We're bringing mainstream values to the comic book field, dishing the dirt and letting you figure out who it is we're talking about.
What the fuck?
Dude,
That was all nonsense.
It was. That was barely readable. I had trouble reading that.
Okay. I was worried. I was missing like punctuation in the.
I thought I was having a stroke reading it. I was like, what the fuck am I reading right now? And I'm going back. I'm like, no, I'm saying that right. So Dave Sim, you can see Cerebus in the corner there of this cover. Cerebus is one of the most probably well known independent comics that has been going on for decades and decades at this point. There is a huge back catalog. But the creator, Dave Sim, how do I say this directly? Because I don't care about saying it nicely. Is a fucking incel. Quite admittedly used that terminology on himself.
The original EVS. He had his breakdown decades before EVS did.
Yeah, so let's see. So this is his shitty take. I guess maybe this is like a romance anthology or something. This is an anthology that I will not be reading or whatever. Is his take on trans rights, because that's what everyone wanted to fucking read in this world. Comic book authors can be incels. Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah. Oh, that was sarcastic. Thanks, Count Shout. The text is a little tricky sometimes. Nobody asked for this. It's just Dave Sim is there. He's had writings and musings on his blog or whatever. And it's he is a despicable person in my opinion. And I think he should be pointed at and laughed at.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sucks because Cerebus has its importance in the idea of indie comics. Cannon Shout, you're fine. You're good. But the fact that the fact this even exists and the people buy this is just horrible. And I think that everyone should know that he's a horrible person, and we can put it out there. Look at this. The tagline is featuring "Stop dragging any gender identity around." Interesting word choice there, buddy. It's a shit person. If you want to look into it, Bleeding Cool has done a lot. Rich Johnson specifically has done a lot of articles about Dave Sim's descent into madness and being a shit human. It's good reading, so you can at least support Rich Johnson because there's some good stuff there.
If you want,
yeah. But yeah, I just want to throw that out there. Don't read it; it's shit.
Cerebus is so weird.
It is, yeah.
I did a deep dive around the Spawn, and Cerebus had their 300th issue right around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I tried to do a big sort of overview of the history of Spawn and the history of Cerebus and their unique points of view and their whole thing. And I tried to do it in a weekend so that I could have it for the show.
Both 300s in a weekend?
Well, no. I did. I read a couple issues of both. I think I read maybe 3 volumes of Spawn and then a couple, as much Cerebus as I could handle. And then I was on Wikipedia, getting as much as I could on McFarlane and then Dave Sim, because I didn't know anything about Dave Sim. And I just when it came time to talk about it on the show, I just fizzled out. It was watching
it's draining.
It was like watching a match in my brain just blow out.
But those two people, it's funny that they had their own 300th around the same time, because it is in a way 2 different sides of the same coin of this weird hyper masculinity.
Yeah.
One, strangely enough, I can say Spawn a little more wholesome in this regard.
Yeah.
It's
well, what I think is so interesting, and I think about this a lot, in a quote I saw fairly floating around, and I don't know who to attribute it to, but it could be somebody's tweet musings or something. But basically, as people are always surprised that most writers and people in the arts are sort of left wing,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
And the idea is like, well, yeah, because for the most part, writers and creative people spend their time figuring out the way people work. And so that usually engenders a sympathy for other people and a love for humanity, right?
Yeah. Empathy. So says empathy.
Empathy, yes, thank you. I mean, sympathy for other people too. It's not just. Anyway, you get people like Scott Adams and Dave Sim who are just, right wing assholes, and
I don't even know if like Dave Sim's even right wing. He's just like shit wing. Like it's just like this weird subset that only feels like he lives in.
yeah,
Which frighteningly is he's not the only one who shares opinions like that. But it is. It's weird, yeah, because I feel like, especially with comic book people, it's like, no offense to comic book
that's
people.
where I was going with it. It's weird
Yeah.
to think that the guy who made Spawn
Yeah,
has better politics than
sure. Even though McFarlane, king capitalist, really, he's like
Sure.
king of that. Yeah, but it's like you think that the people who like when you're cutting your teeth in comics, you're broke as shit. No offense. And I think that engenders a certain kind of empathy and realization of what people are, and to see that not exist for people, like Dave Sim or even like an EBS or something. It's just wild to me, to be so up your own ass where you can't even see, the plight of other people and realizing that fucking humanity is humanity and like fucking support people and have people live their own fucking lives the way they want to, If you want to make comics about an aardvark, like, fucking, we let you, like, just let people live.
Has Todd McFarlane said trans rights?
I don't know, but you can Photoshop that.
Should get a Spawn
Spawn
action
for
figure that
trans
says,
rights shirt.
trans
Yeah,
rights.
you know what? Let's do it. Let's get the ball rolling on that. That's all I want to talk
man.
about that shit, human.
Yeah. Cannon Shout brings up the creator of
true,
Ren
yeah.
and Stimpy, and that guy's a nightmare.
Honestly, though, if you look at Ren and Stimpy, it tracks.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the text was there. Yeah.
I was just watching. Oh my god, something that had to do with Canada. What was it? Anyway, they did the national anthem, the Canadian national anthem, and I could only think of the Royal Guild of Canadian Kilted Yaxmen from Ren and Stimpy. Do you remember?
Vaguely. Once you said Kilted Yaxman, I was like, oh, there's a bell ringing. Yeah.
I had a project in 5th grade that we were supposed to do like a skit. So
Okay.
a dude and I took our socks off when we did sock puppets, and the sock puppets sang the anthem of the Canadian Kilted Yaxman.
You being a 5th grader who was into Ren and Stimpy feels about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you guess what I was into around that age?
Muppets.
No, it was actually Beavis and Butthead. Fucking huge Beavis and Butthead
You know what?
fan.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Season 7 just came out. Ready for it. Hey, Catherine.
What up?
What's up?
You're late.
Kel, do you need you want to just go straight through with this? Or you need to
I'm
go
good.
for? You might. Okay, I'm gonna do like a 30-second break. I gotta. I'm drinking a lot of coffee, guys.
All right.
I'll be right
We'll
back.
take like
We'll
a
be right
3-minute break,
Yeah.
and we'll be right back.
Yep. See you in 3 minutes. Hello. We're back.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello. I had to go give my cat a treat. I've taught him. My cat's name is Lieutenant Commander Jordy LaForge.
Of course.
And
And
I
you will
taught
address him as such.
Yeah. He only listens to his full name. You gotta say Lieutenant Commander Jordy LaForge, Commander LaForge, or something like that. You can do that. And I've taught him how to sit. He got it in 2 tries, and he started putting those pieces together. My man, big brained.
We taught Blake real quick.
He's a German Shepherd, right?
Insanely smart dog.
Yeah,
he's so smart. He's anxious about the world, and that's what we can't.
He's so smart. He gained sentience about real world issues.
He's terribly distressed about the news this week.
I wish I was that. I wish I could be dumb enough to not have to understand what's going on.
Yeah,
and your dog doesn't even get that luxury.
Yeah, no, he's incredibly nervous, and we can't like break it. You know, we can't. He walks 4 steps ahead of us on the walk. He's always pulling on his leash. Barks at anything that passes. And we just can't. That's literally the only thing. He would be the perfect dog if we could just break that. If we could just take him on a nice walk.
I mean, it might come with years. You know?
Yeah. He's only 2 years old.
Those guys have tons of energy in it. I don't have to walk my cat, thankfully. So, although I did have a backpack for him, which I don't have anymore. But
maybe you should get a cat harness. And
he has a harness. He's got a harness with little skulls on it. It's cute. Yeah.
Take him
for
a walk.
He freaks out on the leash, though. I have a nervous cat. Huh? That's the issue. Yeah, but my cat has the same level of anxiety as I do.
Okay. All right. So we're working on about the same plan.
Yeah. We have we have pets with horrible anxiety.
Yeah.
Which,
you know what,
do you think he takes it from the owner? You think there's some kind of like osmosis going on?
Blake was abused as a puppy, so he's just got some, issues
Deep-seated
that we can't fix. Are cats empathetic? Are they? Do they take vibes?
I think so. Mike. I mean, guys, we'll talk about comics again. This is again a little.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
This isn't your show. If you want to talk about comics, go talk about comics.
Sean's not here to keep time. I'm here, and I don't have any timekeeping. So fuck it. But my cat definitely has that. There is a connection going on. Like if I'm like sad, he'll come up to me. He's like licked my face, so like he'll make sure he like cuddles me.
Yeah.
He misses like I went out. I was out till like 4 o'clock in the morning last night. I'm running on literally caffeine right now. But when I came home, his blanket was right in front of the door, which he has like a security blanket that's just a human sized blanket that he walks around with and just suckles on when he's sad. So if that's in front of the door, he was waiting for me for hours, and it's so. It's so sad coming home to that. It's just like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry. You missed me. I missed you too, dude.
Zachariah asked, "Are cats left wing?"
Honestly, I don't think most are.
I would argue they would probably be more conservative.
I would think that a cat's like a real dick cat feels like a libertarian to me. Like,
yeah.
I only care. I care about my rights. I should be able to do anything. That's a real cat thing.
Yeah. But fuck you.
I think age of consent laws, should be. All right, I need to go to my libertarian spiel. Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Comics Pals. We got one more thing to talk about before Kale and I go about our days and leave you with the thoughts and the memories to remember us by until Thursday. But yeah, so this we're gonna finish it off with little controversy. I don't even think that's the right word. What if there's a series of what if books coming out by Marvel right now? They're all based on Miles Morales. What if Miles Morales? I believe there was like an Iron Man one. There's another one coming out. What if Miles Morales, how many miles does it take to save the universe? So it's a whole bunch of different miles. Is there like a Hulk Miles, Captain America Miles, Wolverine Miles? And I guess the 5th one is them combining together to do crossover shit. But the last issue to come out was What If Miles Morales Thor? And this was written by Yehudi Mercado. And, the internet, comic Twitter, Comic Twitter, great place for nuanced discussion.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you go on Disney Twitter, that's a place where you don't want to be. It's like,
No, thank you.
ooh, this queue of this attraction is way too under themed. I'm like, yo, what just happened with the Supreme Court? And that's what you're worried about? Never mind. But comics Twitter kind of tore this issue to shreds for what they perceived as super inauthentic Black / Puerto Rican writing. So let me give you a little. I'll read this page here for you. So Miles becomes Thor in this. I guess Yggdrasil grew in Brooklyn instead. Really simple premise to make him Thor. Like I kind of applaud that. It's like, oh, that's all? Okay. That tracks.
I can
That's
do
fine.
that.
Yeah, it's easy. So this one says, of all the 5 realms, Asgard is his hood. For Miles, you can see he's
like
just
that.
that good. This feels like Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, I like that.
Also, in its racial authenticity, it sounds like Dr. Seuss. The Rainbow Bridge takes him to his quest. The Bifrost line goes north, south, east, and west. From Jormungandr to the Wrecking Crew, he's stuck Gullinbursty in the Asgard Zoo. What the fuck? He is low key when he wants to be. Name on marquees like his uncle Loki. Odinson. He's the son of gods and kings. Got so many wins. Check out all those rings. He's formerly known as a prince for sure. His subjects and friends, they just call him Thor. So Miles says shit like, real modern shit like Hammer Time. One of the other things is he's got style and flair to boot. With his kicks, he's in hot pursuit. Yeah. So I would consider this cringy. I know that's like maybe it's cringy to say cringe. But it's writing. It seems like, did we talk? I think we might have mentioned this either on the show last week. It wasn't in the notes or just talking before or pre-show or post-show or something. I think Sean mentioned this. But it sounds like, when Mark Waid writes young people, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yep.
yeah. So the writer, Yehudi Mercado, who is of Jewish Mexican descent, he got, they were tearing him apart in the quote tweets. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
dude was getting flamed hard. And like, because of all this, because of all of the backlash on it, Yehudi came out and said, I've taken the last few days to step back and listen, which is like the typical iPhone Notes app opening. Love it. Love to see it. Great. Got the, it's like the cell text version, like a screenwriting, like a template. This is just like apology template. Great. I've taken the last few days to step back and listen, and I acknowledge your criticism for my recent issue of What If Miles Morales was Thor. While I've lived a different experience through my own Jewish and Mexican background, I still know inauthenticity hurts, and I'm sorry this failed on that front. I've appreciated hearing and learning from my Black and Puerto Rican comics peers and hope to use this moment to help promote better authenticity. I'm going to donate what Marvel paid me to the Brooklyn Book Bodega, which works to build literacy and get more books to kids in New York City.
Boy.
That's nice. I think that's cool. First of all, Brooklyn Book Bodega, give a raise whoever came up with that name. That's a good ass name there. It's a triple iteration, like, good stuff. But like, the thing that jumped out to me the most is, yes, this is super inauthentic in my opinion.
Yeah, you know what gave it away? So originally, I didn't look at this because I thought it was going to be another art controversy.
Sure, yeah.
And so I looked at it. I looked at the art and I went, you know what? I don't hate it, actually,
The
as far
art's
as that
good,
goes.
yeah.
But then on his hammer is graffitied. And at that point I went, oh, I don't know about this.
Yeah. I mean, like, he's got like a style design of a lightning bolt in his fade, Yeah. The art on this draws some pretty damn good sneakers, like these are good looking.
Yeah.
Or
I don't, I can't comment on how authentic the
sure.
art is.
Why not, Kel?
That doesn't. I wasn't raised in New York,
In Yggdrasil? Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yep.
but it like the art feels to me like
It's
a
fine.
semi
Yeah.
decent translation of what's going on.
Yeah.
But then I started reading that it's actually the writer, and I went, "Oh no!"
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, like, I'm reading this, and I'm from born and raised from right outside New York City.
Yeah,
I am Puerto Rican,
right.
and like I read this, and I'm like, nah, nope, nope. This is like how I sound when my Irish side wins. Like, it's like I'll just say like kicks out of nowhere. I'm like, people don't say that anymore. Okay, all right. Guess I'm not a sneakerhead. Like that's the bit I do at bars. It's kills every time. It slays.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. When I'm reading this, I'm like, oh shit, this sounds like my bit I do. Like, it sounds like a guy pretending to be New York Puerto Rican. And like it's not great. It's not great. I mean, writing aside, I'm sure like maybe like the actual I didn't read the issue, so full thing there. Maybe the actual story is fine. It's a what if Miles Morales book. This is like literally Marvel just filling in the racks at this point. Like, no offense to the creative team.
Yeah.
This is not only is it a what if book, it's a what if Miles Morales book, who is the, sorry to say it, B tier Spider-Man character in Marvel's eyes. Especially in comic book publication, maybe a little bit in, transmedia, but in comic books, that's how they view him. And, yeah, it's like, so the thing that kind of bugged me though was dude getting bullied on Twitter. Bullied so much that he has to donate all of his earnings. Or doesn't have to. He chose to. As like a mea culpa for all of it. And like, I get it. But like, in my opinion, none of this was harmful or intentional. Like, guy is just trying to fucking write comics. Like, it's not an easy, business to be in.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
And I think to a degree you're right. But I think I think what we sort of glossed over here is his reaction to getting bullied and sort of taking these critiques. In the Bleeding Cool article, it says that Michael Wilson of Lake Forest Park, Washington, posted, the dude who wrote the Thor Miles comic is white, and he put Asgard in the ghettos. And then I guess this guy posted a photo of the writer, and though not his name. And that reaction blew up. And then Yehudi Mercado countered in reply, "You should get paid by 23andMe. I love how I'm not Mexican enough for Twitter. I should have added more upskirt shots, and then you would have loved it."
Okay, never mind. I'm back on the other side again.
See, I don't mind defending yourself. I don't mind,
Sure.
Even if he'd said, I was trying to channel the guy that did why am I blanking on his name? Hammer Time.
Sure. Yeah. The MC Hammer.
MC Hammer, yes. Yeah. I was trying to channel MC Hammer and mix it with Old Norse rhyming poetry or whatever.
That sounds
and it didn't
good.
work, right?
Yeah.
That sounds good. That sounds like something that is like that.
I want to see Thor with parachute pants. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? They should have just given MC Hammer the Mjolnir.
But like, why be shitty? Like,
yeah, it's the idea. Like, if I'm getting my ass torn on Twitter, like he was, not to say I'd stay quiet, but like,
oh, I would.
I think that's the go. Like, comic stands in general, capital S stands on the internet. Like, yo, good luck. If you have a fandom coming after you, just let it happen, dude. Just take it. Yeah, bunker down. Absorb what you can from like the actual criticism in there, and try again next time. Like once you start saying like, oh, maybe you like upskirt shots, I'm like, yeah, that's a weird way of going about it.
Well, yeah, and then he also added, wait until people find out who created Miles Morales. It's gonna blow their minds. And then he posted pictures of Brian Michael Bendis.
I mean,
And I
trust
think
me,
the
I
thing
have
is,
issues
like,
there too, but
well, yeah, but like Bendis, like actively, does have people like read his stuff before he sends it out.
sure, yeah. Yeah. It's I thought this was a fun little thing on the internet this past week.
Yeah.
Because like it wasn't me, this has not. I mean, even the Puerto Rican side of me was just like, yeah, it's whatever. It's typical, dude writing comics. Sometimes that shit don't hit, and this did not hit. But this was like so, it was almost like so bad it was good. Because as I'm reading this, I'm like, it's kind of funny, like not the intent, but it's like train wreck funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sylv says, if people are having issues with representation, it's a good idea to go, oh, snap, I need to listen. Which he mentions right away after, getting defensive on the internet and in his, response on a Twitlonger. Oh, Twitlonger. Remember Twitlongers?
Boy, I didn't know that was still around.
Yeah, no, it cycles between Twitlonger and the Notes app. Somebody fucked up if there's a Twitlonger or a Notes app.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you should have just hung out beforehand. And maybe if you've listened and, had, that response initially, like, hey, I'm hearing you, maybe you wouldn't lose your whole paycheck to try and do damage control on it, I feel like this dude got flamed. It's losing a whole paycheck and on the verge of a recession. So, oh, boy. Welcome to the big time comic book publishers, buddy.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So your question in our show notes is, should creators have to respond directly to any and all fan backlash?
Yep.
And I'm interested to hear
what my take on that is.
Yeah.
My take's no. Like that's what I'm getting at. I think the idea of this like parasocial relationship between fan and creator is a problem on social media specifically, whether that's people who watch Twitch streamers, people who are or fans of actors or writers or any kind of creator type. There's this like idea that because they have a Twitter that I can then tweet at them to, they are accessible, and I am allowed and sometimes deserve to be listened to. But when it happens in the hundreds and thousands, no, fuck it. You don't need, like, in my opinion, like, you don't need to respond to all of that. Like, I'm thinking of like Jim Zub, great guy. But when that Thunderbolts thing happened, dude was literally responding.
Tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude was literally responding to every tweet. And like, the book hasn't even come out yet. It was just like the idea of the book was like against the Thunderbolts purists, opinions on what it should be.
And it wasn't even like there wasn't even like a problem with it, right?
No,
like it wasn't this guy pretending to be.
There's no Songbird. We're the bad guys,
Right.
And like the dude was on the defense, Like in my opinion, like no, unless you you really fuck up and you've hurt people or something, or like did some misrepresentation, like in this case. Even then, like you don't need to be responding to Joe Schmo on Instagram, Like sure, if you want to respond to the royal we or the royal reader in this, I think that's fine. But like people who are fighting in the replies, like. I think I'm on both sides. It's like, A, if you're the creator, you don't really owe anyone your time in that regards. You've given them what you've given them, and that's the product. That's the creation. And as the fan, just because you read something doesn't mean you are owed that right to the creator to have your opinion heard or give feedback or, yell at them for doing something you didn't like. Like it's just this singular, like the accessibility of social media makes that relationship almost it feels one-to-one for some people, which is just not the case. That is a lie, in my opinion.
I think I come somewhere just slightly softer than you.
Okay.
I think ultimately I agree. I think it's a big no, but I put more onus on the audience because I think a decent person will listen. And even, like in this case, a decent person will, even if they react first and then come back and apologize, I think that, a decent person will listen.
Sure. Yeah.
And they won't, they'll listen to the hurt. They'll listen to the note behind the note, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they can apologize or blow it over or whatever. But I do think, like you say, now in this era of a social media account means they're at arm's length.
Or perceived to be at arm's length.
Perceived to be, yeah. I do think that a lot of the general public tends to come in bad faith, to get and be the next viral thing.
Yeah.
Or even just to clown,
Yeah. All those anime profile picture people.
Yeah, the Twitter eggs.
Yeah.
I just, I think that there's a degree of both, You have the audience that's acting in bad faith, and then you have the artist who likely is just, doing their best.
Exactly, yeah.
And so even if they react
like this,
Yeah, and even if they react first and then come back and apologize later, they're still doing it.
Sure. Yeah. It's not like he's Dave Sim, That's why I put these two right next to each other.
Yeah.
Like there are people out there that can almost deserve your ire. That, I don't think this guy meant to do this, but
right.
Maybe fucking sit down and listen. That doesn't hurt. Yeah. But also, guys, stop attacking people on Twitter. Like, come on. Come on.
Yeah, Kev has pointed out in the chat, where's the editor?
Like, I mean, it's Marvel, probably a white dude as well.
Yeah, well, but that's what I mean. Like,
yeah,
there's nobody around that could have gone, hold on a second.
Yeah, what would the editor's note be on this? Like, yeah, I got a couple notes for you. This feels very white.
Is this where's the intro to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Yeah, it's a complicated issue, especially as social media goes on, and especially for like new up and coming comics creators too, like where you need that social media presence. Like you cannot get into comics without it. Really, you kind of have to push it. Like Sylve, they have a Kickstarter going on right now. Like you gotta be in the trenches a bit.
Oh, man, guys, make sure to back Sylve's Kickstarter. Sylve, I've failed you. I've meant to bring it up for the past 3 weeks. Go to, if you want to drop a link in the chat, please do it.
But like you got to be in the trenches some bit. So like there is a necessity to be on social media.
Yeah,
like
sucks.
You don't need to fucking attack people. That's all I'm saying. But also maybe write a better Puerto Rican dude. Oh, links in the chat if you guys want to check out. So
perfect. Back this comic.
Some Zombo stuff.
Comics Pals bump and send it to the moon.
So that's our show this week, guys. That's what I got. Kale, how'd you feel about that one? You feel good?
I did. I had a good time today.
It's good. I don't think we need those other two.
No. Forget it.
Can we do like the Nega Pals, like an anti-comics pal sort of thing?
The comics enemies.
That might be a little hard to write that with the image that we've had. I've used who did the Comics Pals logo? Can you refresh? Yeah, Letty.
Letty Wilson.
I've had to use like for Pals polls because I can't actually recreate their drawing. I had to use Photoshop to take whatever letters and shapes and form new letters out of it. Cannot do that for enemies. Way too much.
Okay, but, how about the Pals, the comics negs?
I like the mystery kind of pickup artist feel on that one. Yeah. Negging people. That's what I'm learning at the bars now. You got to neg them all. You got to do some Kino. You got to do some negging.
No, I don't know what that means.
Kino is some slight touching that is not consensual. Don't listen to pickup artist shit. It is a sham and is dude. Google the pickup artist.
No, we're gonna spend the next hour talking about
mystery. No, I gotta go to the zoo. Like I can't. Trust me, I can talk about the pickup artist for hours on end. I'm gonna send you some good watching.
Listen, I'm married. I don't need.
It's not for learning. It's for laughing. You think the Thor thing we read was cringe? Oh boy. I'm gonna show you the Channel 5 pickup artist episode. Oh my god, you gotta watch Channel 5, dude.
Was this the Community Dan Harmon? Was this his thing?
No, this is
was that Channel
real
1?
Life people. This is real stuff. I'll show you.
All right.
After the show. Kale, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TotoIntow. That's TOTOINTOW. You can find my work at kaleward.com. That's CALEWARD.com, where I am not pretending to be Puerto Rican. So.
Some would say I am, but I have the Ancestry.com proof to show it. Yeah, my Ancestry.com is like all over the place. It's like literally like 10% Congo, or I was like 8% at one point Congo. I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah, we found out my dad was adopted.
You were
in like 2012, I think, and my whole family history is just gone out the window. I have no idea who I am.
That's kind of cool, though.
I love it. I'm having a great time.
Yeah, that's great.
My dad's had several breakdowns about it, but I'm fine.
Well, yeah, you're removed from it, to an extent. Yeah. Maybe you were actually born in Yggdrasil, and you can start talking like Miles here.
Maybe I will.
Maybe you're from Brooklyn. You ever think of that?
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So you can find me at the Tyler Olson on Instagram and Twitter. I don't know. If you've watched the Pickup Artist on VH1, it was a reality show that was horrible and probably was like the proto incel, honestly. Talk to me about it. If you want to talk to me about early mid 2000s VH1 reality shows, Pickup Artist, Rock of Love, Flavor of Love, I Love New York, I will talk to you about that. That is my jam. I love Flavor of Love when something takes a shit on the floor. Top 3 TV moments of all time.
What takes a shit on the floor?
So Flavor Flav names all the women on the show. He gives them nicknames, and one of the names was he gave one the name something because she working with something. I think that's what he said. Oh my god! So something drank too much and shit on the floor. That's TV, man. That's Hollywood, baby. But if you want to talk to me about stuff like that, that's my jam. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch at The Comics Pals. And you can support us on patreon.com/The Comics Pals.
Don't forget.
Catherine, there we go. Yeah.
In the $3 tier, you'll get my newsletter this week where I will be eating wasabi ice cream.
Can you wash it down with some actual wasabi?
No.
Okay, all right. That's for the $11 tier, I guess. We'll talk about that.
I'll do that for the $11.
Okay, all right.
Folk,
cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you on Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday for Pals Pulse. I don't know what we're reading this week, but otherwise, if we can't make that, we'll see you next week on Saturday for Comics Pals.
See you next week.